What's going on, guys? It's Apple Critics, and in this video I will be comparing the Samsung Galaxy S3 versus the iPhone 5. Now this will be the phone comparison of the year, as you have the Samsung Galaxy S3 going up against the iPhone 5, two of the best phones on the market today. So without further ado, let's get into this comparison and review. Now to start off, the design. Now the design on the Galaxy S3 is simply amazing. You can see that the design is slightly curved, and it's definitely a perfect design with a micro USB at the bottom, and you can see the phone is a little curved, and you can just see that the design is basically perfected, and it's made out of plastic. It's a hyper-glazed plastic, but that's a pretty good material to use on a phone of this caliber. And on the other side, we have the Apple iPhone 5. Now the design is very thin, and compared to the Samsung Galaxy S3 design-wise, you can see that both phones are very thin, but the iPhone takes the cake on this one. But the screen size is 4 inches across. They made this phone taller, and it's the same width as the iPhone 4S and the iPhone 4. And the design is just simply amazing. You can see the bottom, you have the speaker and microphone and the 9-pin USB port, and you have the headphone, and you just have the lock button at the top. And you have a sort of a two-tone look to the iPhone 5, and if you look at the S3, you can see that the screen is much bigger, and it's a 4.8-inch screen. Now let's talk about unlocking the device. Now on this one, you can see that you have a very nature human experience, and you can just simply swipe the screen to unlock on the Samsung Galaxy S3, and on the iPhone, you still can slide to unlock. And this hasn't even changed in the 6th iteration of the iPhone. But on the Galaxy S3, it's running the Jelly Bean, which makes the S3 much faster. Now this is the official Jelly Bean, and the iPhone is running iOS 6, of course. The Galaxy S3 running ICS was very slow, it was laggy, and it was nothing like the S3 is on Jelly Bean. So everybody's saying that the iPhone 5 is the fastest phone ever, but really the Galaxy S3 is, since it has the quad-core CPU, 1.4 gigahertz processing power, and 1 gigabyte of RAM, while the iPhone 5 is dual-core, and dual-core compared to quad-core. The S3 would take the cake on this one. Now the screen is 4.8 inches on the Galaxy S3. To point out again, that is huge compared to some people, but it really, you just really get used to it, and I can easily hold this phone in one hand, taking a look at it. You can see I can easily access everything, and it's very fast, and it's just like the best screen size, and it's just perfect for the palm of the hand. I could reach the top, even beyond the top part of the phone. I could reach the side, the other side. Just 4.8 inches is just perfect for your hand, and you can see that it's very even, very balanced. That's why I like the screen size on this S3. Now at this time, I must point out that I have been an iPhone user for 3 years, and a recent Android user. I've been using Android for about the past 8 months. I use S3 since the beginning of June, up until the iPhone 5. And the reason why I switched from iOS to Android, just for the time being, was that the iPhone 5, or iOS in general, was very boring. But iOS 6 is starting to rekindle some of the love I had for iOS 5, or iOS in general. But it's just that Apple should have taken a huge risk in iOS 6, but they did not. They just kept it safe, same layout, no widgets whatsoever. There's no revolutionary features apart from LTE, which was already found in Android devices about 2 years ago. So that's just a huge insight, since I have been an iPhone user for quite a long time, and I've also used the 4S for 6 months as well, before the iPhone 5. Now the iPhone 5 does have LTE, which is a welcome feature, but so does the Galaxy S3. So that's a very nice feature to both. Now one huge advantage that the S3 has is an LED notification light at the top, so you don't even have to turn on your phone to know that there has been some activity on your phone. So say you got a new email, you don't even have to guess, say, oh, maybe I got a new email, maybe I didn't. The S3 just alerts you that you have an email. You also do have Smart Stay, which tracks your eyes. So say, for example, you fall asleep with your phone in your hand, your phone will turn off. It's a very smart phone, and it puts the smart back into smartphone, and that's a few reasons why I like it. Now, going back to the topic of the lock screen, if I go into settings, and then I go into lock screen right here, you can see that you have many options for the lock screen. You can have just a simple swipe, you can have motion, so if I change this to motion, I could just go ahead and press OK, and I can just simply tilt the phone back and it will unlock like so. You also do have face unlock, which you just simply show your face and it will remember your face and it will just unlock to your face. And then you have face and voice, so you can just unlock your phone using your face, and then speaking to your phone it will unlock. And you also do have pattern and pin for high security. Now let's talk about storage on both. Now the iPhone has 16, 32, and 64 gigabyte models, and the S3 also does have 16, 32, and 64 gigabyte models. But the S3 does have expandable storage, so you can have a micro SD card and insert it, and micro SD cards has 64 gigabytes of storage at the most, and the S3 has 64 gigabytes of storage at the most, so you could have a 128 gigabyte phone if you would like with the S3. Also, something that the S3 has and the iPhone doesn't is a removable battery. So one reason that the back of the S3 is plastic is so that you can remove the battery on the phone. So you can just go ahead and take the battery out of the phone. And if I have more batteries, I could just insert another one. So say if my phone ran out of battery, I could just insert a new one and it will be good and it would be working as normal. Now, both of these phones have 8 megapixel camera shooters, so what better to do than compare both cameras in these devices. Now, if you take a look at the camera in the iPhone, you can quickly access it from the lock screen, so you can just simply swipe up, and boom, you're into the camera. On the S3, you can also do the same, so you can just simply swipe up, and it'll take you straight into the camera, like so. So if we go ahead and drag something into frame, and let's say, for example, the iPhone 4S right here, and take a picture, you can see pictures are instantaneous on the iPhone 5. But if we drag the S3 into frame and try to take some pictures with it, you can see that pictures are also instantaneous, and you can just see more pictures right here going into the gallery, like so. Now the iPhone 5 runs iOS 6, and the Samsung Galaxy S3 runs Jelly Bean, and these are both great operating systems, and they're optimized for both devices. And the S3 runs really fast with the quad-core processor on it, and so does the iPhone 5 with the A6 processor chip in the iPhone 5, and that's just definitely a nice addition. And you can see that both of these devices are just premium devices. This is the best Android phone to date, and this is just the best iPhone, and it's the best update to iPhone since iPhone. So that's just definitely a strong statement. Now, Jelly Bean is definitely just as fast. So if we go ahead and test some apps out, so I'll just go ahead and clear everything out. So multitasking on this is very simple. So you just simply hold down the home button, and you can go ahead and just delete. And on the iPhone, it's a bit of a nuisance doing this, but here's how you have to delete apps on the iPhone. Simply hold down, and if you have a lot of apps like I do running in the background, it's going to take a while, so this is what you have to do instead. Now once everything is cleared out here, we can go ahead and start the test. So 3, 2, 1, opening up the phone app. And you can see that the iPhone 5 loaded that one faster. And the next one should be, let's say, the clock app. 3, 2, 1. And that was definitely a tie right there. Let's try the calculator. 3, 2, 1. And the S3 loaded that one a little faster, but not much of a difference. And let's try the App Store and the Play Store. So the Play Store is the equivalent of the App Store on Android phones. So 3, 2, 1. And the S3 loaded it faster. And as you can see, it's on the same Wi-Fi network right there. So that one, the S3 one. So these phones are just as fast. They're in a real life situations. This doesn't make much of a difference. But both of these phones do have LTE. So if you want LTE, you can get it on either phone. It will be just as fast. It just depends on which carrier that you are using and which one that you are on. Now the next comparison in this video is Google Maps to Apple Maps. So let's go ahead and launch both. So on both devices I have New York loaded up, and you can see that the Apple Maps does look very nice, but Google has been in this game much longer, and they just know how to make maps good, and I noticed that on the iPhone 5 you can't even find bus routes, so you can't even coordinate your day with bus routes if you take the bus or any transit or trains for that example. It doesn't coordinate it into your life. And that's what Google aims to do with Google Maps. And that's why I just trust Google Maps much more compared to Apple Maps. And everybody has been complaining about Apple Maps for a reason. Let's just face it. And the omission of Google is just because Apple just wants to make their own thing and just not have any Google involvement or Samsung involvement for that matter. Now, customization is a lot to a user, and that can definitely sway their opinion or choice on which phone that they want to get. So customization wise, you have widgets on your S3 or any Android device for that matter. So you have widgets. So if I want to put a clock widget anywhere, I can simply pan and tap and hold the widget, and I could put it right here, for example, and boom, the widget is there. I could definitely rearrange the widget if I want. I could put it in anywhere, and that's something that you cannot find in iOS 6, and that's just an omission that I wish Apple didn't make. They have to put something revolutionary in order to make the consumer want to buy their phone, but they have not. And that's definitely something that they should have put in, but they did not. But that's one thing that is lacking. There's much more customization. I could change the wallpaper straight from here. Say home screen wallpaper. I could have live wallpapers, and that's without any jailbreaking or customization or rooting. So that's just stock on Android. So I could just have bubbles going right there and set wallpaper like so. And you can see that I have a live wallpaper in the background, and that looks very nice on the Samsung Galaxy S3. Now the direct competitor to Siri on the iPhone 5 is S-Voice. Now S-Voice is okay, but it's not great, so you could just learn more about S-Voice. Now let's try and put it head to head with the iPhone 5. Remind me to do my homework for tomorrow.
Here's your reminder for tomorrow at 9 a.m. Shall I create it?
Yes.
Okay, I'll remind you. Would you like me to save it?
So as you can see, that S voice picked up that reminder, which it shouldn't have. So it said, "Shall I create it?" And that's what Siri said. So S voice is okay, but it's not great. But Siri, I must say, is better than S voice. But Google Now is completely a different story. Google Now integrates into your life. It's made by Google, and in my opinion, it's very complete and better than Siri. And Siri is something that you ask generic questions to, so you have to remember some phrases to ask Siri. But Google Now is more professional, and I highly recommend using Google Now. So let's go ahead and ask Google Now and Siri some math questions. What is 5 plus 5 plus 5 divided by 5 times 5 plus 3 plus 4 plus 7 equal?
The answer is 29. Okay, AppleCritics, here you go.
So you can see that Google Now beat Siri by a landslide. What's 5 squared?
5 squared. Okay, AppleCritics, here you go.
So you can see that Google Now beat it again. Now let's talk about sports. So sports is something that people watch every day. So let's see if it can integrate sports. Let's say, navigate me to New York.
Navigating.
So as you can see, it's easily navigating. And Siri still didn't pick that one up.
Getting directions to New York City.
And now it did. And you can see it's taking a while with these Apple Maps. What is YouTube?
YouTube is a video sharing website on which users can upload, share, and view videos. 3 former PayPal employees created YouTube in.
So as you can see, it just gives definitions. It's a more human approach, and I can see myself using Google Now every day compared to using Siri once in a while. So the iPhone 5 is a great phone, but so is the Galaxy S3. So who's the winner? Well, that's up to you. The iPhone 5 is great for your needs. If you like a lot of apps, if you like watching videos, if you like LTE, if you like everything like that. But iPhones are very closed source, but I still like having an iPhone 5. Now, when it comes to the Galaxy S3, you can basically do everything that you want on the Galaxy S3. I'm not saying that the Galaxy S3 is better, but I'm just saying that there's more revolutionary features on the Galaxy S3, more to offer, and I can see why people switch from the iPhone to an Android such as the Galaxy S3. So the winner is definitely up to you, but leave your opinions and your comments on Android versus iOS or the iPhone 5 versus Galaxy S3 in the comment section down below. So thank you for watching this video. Please be sure to subscribe. Once again, guys, this was AppleCritics. And please be sure to like my Facebook fan page at facebook.com/AppleCritics. And also feel free to send me all your questions and comments in the comment section down below. And please be sure to like this video, as I know you watched. A post in the description down below about the Galaxy S3 versus the iPhone 5. Thanks for watching.